Hello everyone, welcome back to Chat with the Charger. I'm your anchor, Raven Schatz. For this episode, we will have Noah Miller covering spring sports, Jaden Ball, who is spotlighting the robotics team, Dominic covering the Raspberry Pi emulation, and finally myself covering just exactly how to become a foster at PAWS. And now, for the show. Now to Noah Miller covering the spring sports.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another sports segment with me, Noah, your friendly host. And today we're going to interview some spring sports people. Today we have some people playing from girls tennis, and then we have someone playing from girls softball, and lastly we have someone playing from boys golf. So before we get any further into this segment, I'll let these guys introduce themselves.
I'm Ari McDonald and I play golf.
I'm Carly Cavanaugh, I play softball.
I'm Jamie Silly, I play tennis.
How many of you guys been on here before with me?
I've been on one time.
I've been on once.
I've been on more than once.
Well, I guess I don't have to describe what I'm going to be doing then. So, as you know, I'm going to ask you questions. After the questions, we're going to have a little fun game at the end. You guys ready? All right. Question 1. What got you interested in playing your sport?
So I was a freshman and my buddies decided to go out for golf. It was just going to be something for fun, just kind of a pastime. I wasn't expecting to be good or anything, but it's been pretty good. Here we are.
Multiple family members of mine had played softball before, and I thought, oh, let's give it a try. So I got signed up for T-ball and have liked it ever since.
In 6th grade, I just was like, oh, let's play tennis with some of my friends, and I just really enjoyed it and kind of played ever since.
Do you feel like you playing your sport has made you a better person overall?
I feel like it's definitely taught me how to be patient and disciplined a little bit more because golf's just mentally a drag sometimes.
I feel like my sport has taught me to communicate on and off the field, and has taught me accountability and a bunch of other stuff too.
It's definitely given me patience to move forward in the sport because tennis, you can get in your head really easily. If anybody's ever played tennis, you'll know that. So it's just more of a mental game than anything, so it's really helped me comprehend and further understand why I'm playing it.
If you had to choose a sport that you haven't already played, what would it be and why?
I'd probably wrestle because I'd like to think I'm pretty strong and I'm pretty light. So I feel like that'd be a good combination for that.
I think I would play tennis because it's similar to pickleball, and I love pickleball, so.
I don't know. I've tried just about every sport. So I don't really know. I know I couldn't play golf. I can't even putt, so I'd be out on that. But I guess maybe I would have tried to get more into softball as a younger kid, maybe.
Okay. If you was trying to convince someone to play your sport, what would you tell them?
I think golf's just super laid back. It's really fun. You don't even have to play in matches. You can just go out and play with your buddies, if you're not on varsity. So it's pretty fun to be around.
Yeah, we have a really small team this year, and it's super fun to get to go and talk with them and get better at the same time. And softball is just a stress reliever for me, and I just really enjoy playing with everyone.
We've always had a small team, so the more the merrier, I guess. But I don't know. Tennis is just fun for me. It's one thing that I do really enjoy, and if you have a lot of patience, you'll probably be pretty good at it. You just can't get in your own head, and I think that's the most important idea.
That was a hard question. Now the questions I'm going to ask going to make you think a little bit. Okay. So, would you rather drink only one type of drink for the rest of your life or only eat one type of food?
I feel like probably the drink, just because it'd be easy. I mean, you just kind of drink water,
just water? You're drinking water the rest of your life?
Water would be okay. Yeah.
I feel like I could live off lemonade or sweet tea for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I feel like definitely drink like either water or like Powerade, Gatorade, something like that. Because I feel like one type of food would be really hard just to like sit down and eat mac and cheese for every meal every day of your life. I feel like that would be pretty hard.
Okay. Would you rather always have a hole in your sock and the hole's like right next to your toe? So when you walk, your toe pops out of the hole? Or always have you drink room temperature water?
Probably a hole in my sock because like I feel like you can do things for a hole in your sock. You know what I mean? Like just like.
Wouldn't that bug you though?
Yeah, I mean, it bugged me a little bit, but I'd rather be able to drink like cold water. You know what I mean?
Same. I would rather have a hole in my sock.
No.
No, I feel like room temperature water would be fine. Like I feel like I drink room temperature water quite a bit. Like I really don't think it would be that big of a deal.
I'm going to have to agree with Jamie on this one. Okay, guys. Now the hard part is over. It's time for some fun. Guys, you're going to have this game is about balance and how many golf balls you can hold without hold them with your hands or putting them in your pockets. You'll have a time limit of 1 minute, and we're going to be split up into groups, and whichever team holds the most golf balls while the minute's over wins the game.
Like both of us are holding them?
No,
Or just
one.
Okay.
All right. And you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Tilt your neck this way. And hold it back there. I don't. It's okay. Is this gonna be weird? I don't know if this is gonna work.
Come on. Take it up there. Yeah. It's okay.
I don't know if I can.
There you go.
I definitely
No.
You can put more between my legs, probably.
No.
Oh shoot.
Try higher.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I go lower. There we go. How are you doing that?
It's called balance.
10 seconds.
Woo. Take it there.
Time.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
3,
6,
4,
7.
5, 6, 7.
Dang.
Okay, draw something.
What are we gonna do for the tiebreaker?
I don't know. Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, guys.
You gonna
Okay.
explain that? or-
Oh, do you guys need me to explain how to do rock, paper, scissors?
No, I mean, are you gonna say, oh, there was a tie, you know? No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
There's a tie, guys. And for the tiebreaker, we're going to do rock, paper, scissors.
That's 2 out of 3. All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, Ari wins. Alright.
Thanks to my teammate here.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Alright. Well, guys, that is the end of our segment. Thank you for coming out and participating in my event. Best of luck to you guys the rest of the season, and back to you, Paige. Go Chargers.
Wow, that game looked like lots of fun. Definitely one that could be fun at a party or family gathering. Now, on to Jaden Ball, spotlighting the robotics team.
When you've got to found the national park system at 7, but have a
Nice. Well, you gotta be kidding me. All right, they're going up. They're gonna go ahead and see if they can get it in. And, oh, small miss by 4008. All right, they're gonna go around now and try to defend on the south side corner. And oh, that's a big hit by the other robot. See if 4008 can recover. Good recovery by 4008. 4008, the Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders are, oh, big hit again by the exact same robot as earlier. Another good hit. 408008 doing the best to defend. Pike Central's Teddy Roosevelt's Disco Haircut. 4008 now on the Red Alliance. Going ahead, another miss sadly with their notes. Not as easy as it looks. Coming in, they're doing the best to block, and another decent hit. It's almost got pinned against the wall there. Gotta be careful when they go there. 4008 going ahead and doing their best to defend it. Oh, out of nowhere they get hit. Doing decent blocks though, making sure the other team are not able to complete their scores and cycles. They're going ahead and they're making sure they can keep the other end, letting in through the other robots, and keeping the other robot neatly tucked in between the wall and the scoring zone. Sadly, the robot managed to outmaneuver him. 4008 now back on the blue team. Going ahead, lining up, firing, they're revving up their engines, and they're preparing to fire. And oh my god, they actually hit it! Now they're getting pinned between 2 other robots, 3 other robots, my god! They're defending against 3 robots simultaneously. Good hits on all ends by 4008. 1 robot goes underneath the stage. 4008 going ahead trying to defend against other robots. Other massive hits by 4008 as they're pushed right into the middle of the field by other robots, trying to at least slow them down so they can't get even more hits. 4008 again causing a pileup by 3 different robots, making so they have to go entirely around the entire stage. Very good work by 4008 there. Ooh, another good hits. 4008 being utilizing their tank drive to prevent the other robots from getting to the other side of them. Good hits and keeping them around. Well, 4008 had an amazing performance at playing field over spring break, and we hope to see them good again next year.
That robot was super cool looking. Great job, robotics team. If you're interested in joining the robotics team, check with Noah Fort or Mr. Scott for more information. Now to Dominic Smith with information about the Raspberry Pi emulation.
The SNES and the NES weren't exactly what I'd call portable systems. They were big and bulky, but that's okay because the Game Boy was released. But the Game Boy wasn't really an NES or an SNES on the go. It was more of a substitute on the go. All Game Boy games were as bare bones as possible, which isn't always a bad thing. I mean, look at Tetris, the Game Boy's best-selling game. Actually, the best-selling game. Games could be made like the NES or the SNES and play on the Game Boy. I mean, just look at the screen. There's not a whole lot to work with when your only 2 colors are road gray and puke yellow. But what if you wanted to take your NES or SNES to someone's house? You'd have to get all your games, controllers, console, cables, accessories. It kind of becomes a hassle when you have to wear cargo shorts to carry it all. But what if you didn't have that problem? What if you could just take your Super Nintendo to your friend's house instead of your Game Boy, and you didn't have to take all that stuff with you? I found myself in this situation not too long ago. You see, I have my NES at my mom's house while my SNES collection is at my dad's house, about an hour and a half away. And while I could just take my Super Nintendo collection down to my mom's house, not only would I, of course, need to take everything I mentioned before, but I would also have to probably bring it back. My little sister really enjoys playing the Super Nintendo, even though she's got a Nintendo Switch with a year subscription to Nintendo Online where she can play basically any game she wants. Obviously, I don't want to have to deal with that. But also, some of the games I have are quite expensive. Nothing obscenely rare, but a lot of my collection is more or less highly sought after games. Granted, I do have one pretty expensive title. I know, I'm the coolest person you've ever seen. But this created a demand to have a portable Super Nintendo, or at least a more portable Super Nintendo. So of course, like any logical thinking human being, I set my sights on building a semi-portable Super Nintendo. The way I was able to achieve this was by using one of these. This is a Raspberry Pi 02W. I finally settled on using this because of course, it's more than powerful to play SNES and NES games, but it has Bluetooth so I can use any controller I want, and it is, if I may say, relatively portable. I mean, it doesn't have a display and isn't what you would call a portable system, but you could surely turn it into that if you wanted. But one of the best things about it is how cheap it is. This bad boy will only run you about $15, $25 if you want to buy the case for it. But I didn't buy a case because I own a 3D printer, and 75 failed prints later, I finally have my case. I love 3D printing, but how does this thing actually work? Well, firstly, it uses a piece of software called RetroPie. This is an emulator for Raspberry Pi devices. All you have to do is set it up and then load your game ROMs onto an SD card, which plugs directly into the Pi itself, and there you go. You can now play your NES and SNES games in a much more comfortable format. You're also given the opportunity to play them through HDMI, something the original systems obviously lacked. You can also upscale the image in RetroPie itself, giving a much cleaner picture. And of course, like I mentioned before, with the added Bluetooth, you can use any controller you want. I personally use the PlayStation 5 controller, which I know probably put me on the FBI's most dangerous criminals list, but hey, you can use whatever controller you want. That's how I made my own semi-portable Super Nintendo, and you could too, for only $15, so that's pretty cool I guess. That's all from our gaming segment, now back to our announcement.
That was some really interesting information. I've never heard of the Raspberry Pi emulation myself, so that was quite informing for me. For the past few broadcasts, I've been spotlighting animals at Paws, and for this segment, I thought it would be nice to have a change. So today I'm spotlighting how to be a foster for Paws. Have you ever wanted to foster an animal from Paws, but have no idea how to do so or what to expect? Well, I have some information that should help you. If you're looking for how to apply, there are two places where you can access the applications. One is at Paws location, and the other is on Paws Linktree, which can be found on Paws Facebook. After you apply to be a foster, just like an adopter, Paws will do a background check just to make sure you have no history of animal abuse and that your current pets are fully vetted. Also, if you currently have a dog and are wanting to foster a specific dog, make sure to take your dog to meet the one at Paws to make sure they get along. There are not too many expectations when it comes to being a foster for Paws. All they really ask is that you're just caring and loving to the animal that you're fostering. Paws does provide bedding and food for all of their fostered animals. Paws also asks that you send in regular updates of the animal you're fostering so that they can add info to the animal's pet finder page to help get them their forever home. It's quite known that most people who foster animals do also end up normally being the ones who adopt the animal. And I actually have one of the best foster success stories from Jessica, who's the director of Paws. My favorite foster success story is of a sweet little beagle mixed dog named Baby Girl. She arrived to us last September with a group of 8 other dogs living in a very sad situation. Most came terrified and even lashed out at us, particularly one named Baby Girl. Although the smallest out of the group, she was full of fear to the point of biting. She tried to escape everything we put her in, and for weeks wouldn't even let us touch her to take her outside to stretch her legs and potty. We had to clean the crate around her and avoid eye contact. After several weeks of this, I decided to try getting her out. So I tossed the slip lead over her head and no more gave a slight tug, and out she went. At first she tried getting away from me, but once she realized she couldn't get away, she collapsed in fear. So down I went with her, and before I knew it, she was in my lap. Over the next few months, she grew slightly less timid, but still scared enough to growl at our occasional cage approacher. Then last week, our volunteer and board member Ashley took her home for foster, just to see how it went, and it went amazing. She's going to adopt her officially and send updates, and you can see how much just the next step into an actual home changed her so much. She doesn't hunker down in fear, she doesn't hide, and she doesn't growl. And I can't think of a dog more deserving than the one right there. That's a wonderful story. Paws is really needing fosters and adopters right now. If you would like to foster for Paws, you can get an application at their location in Petersburg or online via their Facebook page. Thank you for watching this episode of Chat with the Charger, and we'll see you next time.